almost best turns of the heat put together on that wave.
Here we go again. Thompson will slice.
Wow.
And then he'll go over a meaty section, so much wider on the bank. Look at the energy. He's found the bigger and better waves, doubtless, in this. He's turned them into a lead. He ain't hanging around. He'll catch another. While Oscar Berry at the apex of the peak. Well, the journey to the final, it was a storied one. We'll have a look and see exactly how Luke Thompson got it done, and he had to get past real quality surface. That quarter, crucially, against Eli Hanneman, you just felt like when he got that particular heat done and he got that win, you knew you were on the verge of something special here, Jess.
Yeah, and he looked really convincing in that one as well. Just his strength, his stature, his power in his surfing. It seemed like he clicked into another gear in that quarterfinal. And Eli, I mean, he was really impressive thinking back to his round of 16. And I remember chatting to Luke and he was like, I know this is going to be a big one, this quarterfinal. And then he went on, had a similar kind of situation with Oscar Berry where they're two pretty similar surfers. They actually approach heats in very similar ways. And I feel like, yeah, probably from that quarterfinal onwards, it was pretty much game time for Luke Thompson.
For sure. And in the semis, he just also had a bit of a slower start, but then built and got some seriously big scores through that semi-finals. As we see here, a couple big turns just opening up, nice clean faces, so much spray coming off his board. And this was towards the back half of that semi-final, and then he found this wave right in the dying minutes to really hammer it home and really look at this, the emotion. He knew he's going into the finals. He has a shot at the title here.
Just the way he was drawing out his bottom turns had that little bit extra in them as well, and then straight into this to start off the final. I mean, finding that amount of cover up, and that was a really hollow barrel as well. And then here, this was the moment where he knew he had to push hard to win this final. Just perfectly teed off on two turns there, got himself the score by like 0.1 as well, and got himself the win. So Luke had to do what he did to convert and take home the trophy. And I love seeing Dan, Connor and Luke cheer him up the beach. Not only are they his competitors here, he's grown up competing against them his whole junior career, but they're his best mates as well. And I think this is just such a big moment for them as a group. And I think when you come back for the US Open, watch them all try and lift as well.
For sure. And, you know, the talking point is, you know, two South Africans will get that the ratings, but two South Africans probably in the top 4. I'm not sure where Maddie McGillivray will enter. He was top 3, but anyway, that's a huge talking point for our surfers, and they're going to feel so good. And just the way they've supported Luke here, and this one's going to drive them and lift them up as they go into the US Open.
And also, what a great warm-up into J-Bay, because we know Luke got the wild card into Jeffreys Bay, and I mean, the momentum that he can take from this into that and see how he goes up against the best in the world at a wave that he's so used to knowing. I mean, this is the perfect warm-up to go into J-Bay for Luke.
Absolutely.
Love it. What a story that is for South African surfing, for our champ, Lukey Thompson. Let's pivot over, check out the final bracket for the women. It ended up to be an all-Euro final, and a couple of surfers with plenty of spray and heavy turns, but they had to get past some heavy opponents as well. There's a lot of quality in the quarter straw here, Jess, and a real diverse field as well. There's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, we had some veterans, we had some young up-and-comers, we had some dark horses like Talia Swindle and Laura Rupp, but for me, I really feel like Nadia, she found her form in the round of 32 and then just continued that all the way through to the final. I mean, it was in that moment where she found that 8-point ride that it just felt like something was different. This was pretty big in her semi-final. Had to take down Sally Fitzgibbons, who was looking super in form, went excellent on those two turns here for Nadia, and she just was so impeccable with her timing on these walls and just was clicking them so perfectly on her backhand, dealing with an injury as well, and coming off the tour, not really getting the results she was ever looking for, and then straight into a win. This is big confidence for Nadia.
Yeah, and just solid surfing into the finals. She started with that big wave and a big maneuver, and just really focusing on those big backhand turns. She kept building that scoreline in that final, and that's, I think, where Yolanda got a little bit stuck. She had the best wave of the final, but she didn't build on her scoreline. She sort of sat with priority for a long time, needing a smallish score, and Nadia just kept edging that lead, making it a little bit better and better, and she surfed the full 35 minutes, where Yolanda sort of didn't get anything better in the last 15 minutes or so.
Zorionak to Nadia Erostarbe. Big congratulations to her. We sometimes talk as well about personality coming through in surfing. I'm not sure that really quite always rings true. I just think with her, she's got a sort of a humbleness about her that you don't often see, particularly now with athletes, elite athletes. They've almost got to be their own personal brand. It's all about the sort of cult of the individual. I just really think she's so understated. It's quite refreshing to see that, because it's actually something quite unique these days.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she doesn't oversell anything. She's just so openly herself and never needs to push harder than she does, because she's so just elegant in the way that she holds herself as a person and as a competitor and as a surfer as well. And so Nadia, I feel like this is a win that came at a really great time for her in her career, knowing that she can get these wins on this level and then challenge once she makes that championship tour as well. So 2 Challenger Series events, 2 European female champions. So that's a good start for the European females.
Yeah, just a word on Yo-Yo as well. Another unique character and that kind of new energy as well. And like the sport, it's all about the performance and what people do in our ways, but we do need those personalities. And it's great to see her going so well out here as well. She'll be disappointed with what she got done. Never made a heat hit in the past as well. So a brilliant result for her. And yeah, go the Euros. Yeah, Jess.
Go the Euros, Paul. I mean, she was looking in form all event.
Yeah, you know, I'm thinking back to that final. She got the 7.67 on, she beautiful opening turn and then that heavy hitting landing. I think if she had ridden out of that turn, that final turn, a bit quicker, there was a lot going on. She took a long time to pop out that whitewater. Still dynamic maneuver. If she had sort of come out a bit quicker and looked up at the beach, that would have been up into the excellent. I think that's where the difference was in that heat. But Yolanda, she has been working so hard at this event. She's been down here on the water's edge, the first person every single morning, and her coach, John, supporting her, actually not letting her go out too early in the dark on her own, making her wait for another surfer to come and paddle out with her. And she's definitely putting together some good heats, and she's got a lot of belief. I mean, you talk to her, the belief she has in herself is pretty crazy, and she 100% believes she's going to go all the way.
Still early in the season, but after stop 2, here's what we know in terms of our rankings, and absolutely what you want to do is come out as quick and as hard as you can. And we'll see. Kika Veselko still on top, went well in this event. She would have lined herself up to go deeper than this. She holds quite high standards for herself. But interesting, obviously, the 2 finalists, Yolanda and Nadia, up there inside that top 4.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really great start. We talk about European females. There's 5 in the top 10. So that's a really incredible start.
4 of the top 5.
4 of the top 5. I mean, it's such a big moment. I feel like they've come out of the gates as this new storm. We talk about the Brazilian storm. Maybe we've got a European storm starting to brew on the Challenger Series now, and it's strong on the women's side. And with Kika still at the top of the rankings.
The South Africans lurking with intent there inside the ratings. Greg Emsley.
Yeah, so having a look at it, it's you see Jacob Willcox still up in number 1. Luke Thompson shooting up the rankings, up to number 2 with the win. George Patar as well to 3. And then another South African, Matt McGillivray, up to number 4. So huge story for South Africa to come out of the Ballito Pro, and you've got 2 surfers in the top 5. That's massive for the country, and we'll be stoked with that. And yeah, Carly Vast down to 5, Liam O'Brien 6, Oscar down to 7, Jorgen in 8, Ryan's moved down, shifted a bit to 9, and then Winter sitting in 10. So it's a pretty solid looking top 10 right there.
Quite a few Aussie flags in that top 10 still, Jess.
There is. It's something I love most about that rankings is we're seeing a lot of new names, well, names that we know, but new names in that top 10. Thinking of Callie Vast, he was down in the 50th last year. Oscar Berry, Winter Vincent. I mean, we knew we were going to see class from a lot of those surfers coming back from that CT or maybe trying to get back onto that top league. But to see these new names like Luke Thompson, it's exciting. You're not sure where this year's going to go, but if that was the top 10 that we ended up with at the end of the year, I think would be in for a delight for the 2026 tour.
Tell you what, we